All right. All right. Now, it kind of works. Hey, folks. Hi, Caitlin. Hello, Okudi. I'm trying to figure this out right now. There we go. I think that's a little better. All right. Oops. See if I can make it not slip. There we go. Let's see. Good. I think that works. Yes. Much better. All right, folks, go ahead and sign in so I know who's here. I have Lily, Jordan, Caitlin, Okudi. Selena's trying to get in. It's probably going to take us 5 or 10 minutes to get in, guys. Just be patient there. Okay. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Cynthia. So we got Curry, Caitlin, Jordan, Lily. All right. Things are working out a little better. All right, that should work. There are a couple of people texting me. They're trying to get in, so we'll just wait for a minute till they get in. I hope you all are doing well and surviving all this crazy right now. Hi, Susie. And I think Jordan just got in, or no, my bad. Harrison got in. All right, just hang out, be patient. I got a few folks. Let me see. Okay, let's see what we got. Cool. Is that you, Selena? So, Selena, if you got in, send me a chat. Hold on one second, guys. I'm texting others. Hey, Selena. Glad you made it. Cool. Hey, Luis. Hello. Cool. Excellent. If you don't mind, let's give it like 3 more minutes and then I'll get started. I'm just waiting for other folks who are probably having some difficulties. Let's try that. My last class, I was having a little difficulty. Hey, Bethany. Glad you could get in like that. My last class, we were having some focus problems, so let's see how it works out. Well, we got about half of you, but I don't know where the other half are. Give it 2 more minutes. Jesse. Cool, so I should have 11. 12. There we go. All right, so let's begin. Oh, hold on, someone else. Okay, there's someone else trying to get in. All right. So my plan for the evening was this. Someone else just came in. Hello, hello. Type in your name in the chat so I know who you are so I can do attendance. Diana, did you just get in? Oh, someone fell out. They were here for a sec. All right, if you just got here, sign in on the chat so I know who you are. And I can do attendance that way. Huh. All right, so here was my plan for the day. Sorry, I'm texting Diana. She's having a little difficulty. Thanks for your patience. All right. So I was going to do this for you. Remember we tried to do that on Thursday? And we tried to do that on Thursday and it didn't really work. And that's my fault because we ran out of time. And I tried to squeeze it in and it takes some time. So I figure I would just do it for you. And you can just sit back and watch, eat dinner and watch. All right. So the issue was this, that with Pythagoras, by the way, can you all let me know, can you hear me well? Are we doing okay? Can you hear me? Give me a chat and let me know you can hear me. Again, with the last class, there was a little difficulty back and forth, and then we got it figured out. So excellent, excellent. Okay. So our friend Pythagoras, right, figured out that these there were these relationships. You remember with the example of the blacksmith. So there were these relationships with the hammers that they used, and that when the hammers were in perfect number ratios, they sounded better, right? So all was good. So that was what Pythagoras did, right? And what he found was that there were some basic relationships. The octave was the most pleasant, and it was in the relationship of 1 to 2. So the octave is like C to C or D to D. It's the same note back to itself is in a relationship of 1 to 2. So in other words, if I play this note and then I cut the string in half, I get that note. Okay, if I play that note and I cut it in half, then I get the next one up, right? Like on our keyboard, right? Hold on, let me get the keyboard over there. If I'm right here and I cut the string in half, then I get that one. Okay? Huh. Hold on a second. One second, folks. It's Jennifer trying to get in. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Yeah, I just texted Jen. We're trying to figure it out. I'm going to continue while she's working on it. So, the other one was we had this relationship. 2 to 3 is a fifth. So that would be like so on our keyboard, if I start here, C to G is a fifth. It's 3 1/2 tones. 1 tone, 2 tones and a half, 3 1/2 tones. Okay? Hold on a second. Someone else just texted me. Let me get there. Okay? Do you remember from our chart? A fifth is 3 1/2 tones. Okay? So if we start from C and we want to find the fifth, we go 1, 2 and a half, 3 1/2. Or if it's easier, 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 2, 2 and 1/2, 3. 3 and 1/2. Okay? And so that's a fifth. If we start on D, 1/2, 1. 1 and 1/2, 2. 2 and 1/2, 3. 3 and 1/2. Okay? So the idea is every time we have 3 and 1/2 tones, we go up a fifth, and the ratio of the string or the hammers or the bells or whatever we're using to make sound, the pipe, will be in the ratio of 2 to 3. So in other words, if we have a string like this and we cut it 1/3, right? So this whole thing is one whole, right? And that's 1/3 and this is 2/3. If we play the whole and then we play this part right here, it will be a fifth apart. So if the whole string is a C, then if we cut it off at 1/3 and just play that part, it's a G. Is that clear, folks, how that works? Oh, damn. Is that clear how that works? Any questions? If you have questions, ask them now because we're going to go to town in a second. That didn't work. Everybody good? All right. Now, let me see if I can get this keyboard up there so we see it at all times. So now what Pythagoras said was he said, well, if we add up fifths, we should be able to add up enough fifths where we get back to the same note we started with. And his question was, well, how many of these fifths will it take to get back to that original note? Okay? Oh, hold on. All right. So here's what he did. And we're going to do it together right now. We start on C. Okay? And now we're going to find the fifth above C. And the way we do that is we just count. Now, we can count 3 and 1/2 tones or 7 piano keys because each piano key is a 1/2. Okay? So 7 1/2 over here, 7 times 1/2 equals 3 and 1/2, right? So if each key is a half, we need to get to 3 1/2, we multiply by 7. So if we start at C, we can do it this way. Let me see if I can get it down a bit. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or we can count it this way. 1 whole, 2 wholes, 2 1/2, plus 1 is 3 1/2. So the first fifth is a G. Okay? So the next fifth above that, we're going to do the same thing. We start at G, and I'll do it both ways. We can count the number of keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is this. 6, 7. Or we can count whole tone halftones. 1 whole tone, 2 whole tones, 2 1/2, which puts us right there, 3 1/2. There's our next fifth. Everybody, are y'all with me? So now what I want you to do, the home audience, is I would like you to tell me what the next fifth is. So you can either count by the number of keys, which would be 7, or count by 1/2. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. You made it. So find the next fifth above D. Good, Olivia. Very good. Find the next fifth above D by counting either the number of keys or the number of halves. Everybody good? Excellent. So looks like everybody's got it. Do it again. So starting at A, count the number of halves and tell me where you get to next. Very good. It's an E. So let's start at A. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We end at E. I'm going to caution you. The other class made this mistake regularly. When you get to this C right here, that is the same as this. So don't count it twice. Just count it once. So let's do it again. We go 1, 2, 3. We're now here on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't count the C twice. That'll put you off. All right, so that's an E. Do it again. And let me know what you got. Very good. So we get to B. See a bunch of people B. Yeah, it's B. Very good. Do it again. Not F. Not F. F sharp is correct. Right? Good. So we start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Uh-oh, we made a mistake. Let's do it again. Oh, my bad. No, we're good. We're good. All right, what's the next one we get to? Excellent, excellent. You guys got this. Awesome. So the next one is C sharp. So we start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. C sharp. Next one. Good. The next one's G sharp. And I'll just do it from here. So we're at G sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then it'll be D sharp. Okay, we're right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A sharp. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. F. And actually, the truth is we're going to call that E sharp. But that's the only weird thing. Okay, it's wrong, but let's just hang with me for a second. So we're right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and we got back to C. So we started at C, and we got back to C. Okay, y'all with me? So now, this is fifths. Now we want to know how many octaves there are. So we start at the 1C, right? Now between C and G, there's no C, right? So there's nothing here, but between G, A, B, C, D, there's a C right in here. Okay. D, E, F, G, A, there's no C right here. A, B, C, there's a C right there. D, E. Help me out. Is everybody understanding? Oh, wait. Hi, Renato. Welcome. Didn't see you come in. I see your thing. Why E sharp? I'm gonna tell you not to worry about it. That's one of those weird philosophy things. Just allow it to be based on where we land. So we just count the keys and we land wherever we land and don't worry about it. Okay? Now we're right here. E, F, G, A, B, there's no C in this gap right here. But right here there is. Good? Hold on a second. Diana, did you have a question? Let me look and see. Oh, we're good. It just got here. All right. Now we have a C between B and F sharp. Now look right here. F sharp, G, A, B, C. There's a C right here before the C sharp. C, D, F, G. No C right here. No C right here. G, A, B, C, D. There's a C right there. D, E, F, G, A. No C. A, B, C. There's a C right here. And there's a C there. So each of these is an octave because we come back to the same note. Okay? So now we're going to do the math. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 octaves. Okay, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and I think most of you got there on Thursday. We got to that place. Okay? Everybody good? All right. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. The octave relationship is 1 to 2. The fifths relationship is 2 to 3. I want you to notice that we started on the same note, we ended on the same note. If the math works out, then 7 octaves, 1 to 2, should equal 12 fifths, 2 to 3. Those two should be equal because we get to the exact same note. So we get to the same place. And we take different roads, but we get to the same exact place. All right? All right. Now what we did then was, here's the rule. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. So the rule is when you add ratios, you multiply them. Okay. So this would be 1/2 times itself 7 times. 1/2 multiplied by itself 7 times. Okay. And that should equal 2/3 multiplied by itself 12 times. Those two things should be equal, but we don't know. But the problem is this: in the physical world, if we had a string long enough to cut into 8 octaves, like let's say the string is 100 yards long so that we can cut it into 8 octaves like this. And we cut it into fifths, we should land at the exact same place, because do you see we land at the same place? Okay. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. All right. So these two they must be equal, because these numbers are actually the physical string. Let me say it again. These numbers are not just like abstract mathematics. These are actually the physical string. I will try to save this after class. I'm not sure how you do it. I thought it automatically saved. I see the comment there. I thought that this automatically saved, but it didn't last night. So I will figure out how to automatically save this. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll try that. Okay, ready? So the first thing we're going to do, okay, on our calculators, okay, is we're going to do 2 to the 7th power, and we get 128. So this one will be 1 over 128. Uh-oh, it's cut off. Hold on a second. Let me move it up. There we go. So this proportion here, 1/2 to the 7th power, means 1 to the 7th. 1 times itself 7 times is 1. 2 to the 7th is 128. That's the same as, so here we have 2 to the 12th. Okay, so 2 to the 12th is 4096. And then 3 to the 12th so this is what the math gives you. This, we want to know if this equals this. Now, the only way we can know that is if we have common denominators. And this got people stuck. So let me go over real quick common denominators. If I add this, 1/3 plus 3/4, okay? If I add those two, do you notice that I can't add them because the denominators are different? I'll just be really simplistic. This is thirds. This is fourths. This piece is a different size from that piece. So we can't add them. What we can do, though, is make sure the denominators are the same. So the thing that we do is we say, what do we multiply both? What do both 3 and 4 go into equally? They go into 12. So we multiply this one times 4 over 4 and this one times 3 over 3. And we get 4 over 12 plus 9 over 12. And our answer is 13 over 12. So if the pieces are size 12, we have 13 of them when we add those two. But we have to have common denominators. So I want to point out, we can't evaluate these two things, okay, until we have common denominators. What that means is we're going to multiply this one by this. Just what I did over here. Do you see how I multiplied times 4 over 4? The denominator by, and this one I'm going to multiply by 128 over 128. Clear? Is everybody clear with that? Thank you, Dragon's Blood. Thank you, Okuri. My last video did save. I will see if I can make it public before I end it and then save it as save it. Okay, good. All right, everybody good? So here's what we do. So now we go back into our calculator. Okay. And we do 128 times, and we have this. Okay. And then we multiply 4096 times 128. Okay. And so what we can see is that this is not equal to that. Is everybody good? These two are different. So what that meant is that the math doesn't work. The math is off by a tiny, tiny amount. So what that says is that all music and all musical systems are out of tune somewhere. And like I talked about at the end of the class, so instrument makers, what they have to do is they have to figure out what they're going to do with this out of tunedness and where they're going to hide it. So let's look at that. How much out of tune is it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 5, 3, 1. Okay, that's how much it's off by that amount. Okay, and now let's actually find out what percent that is. Okay, so I'm going to divide by. Okay, so it's off by. To find percent, we move the. Shit. Yes, I said shit. Sorry. Let's do it again. Okay, so to take percent, we move the decimal 2 places over, and we have 0.011%. So it's 1/100th of a percent off. That's how much we're off. We're off by the tiniest bit. Okay? And so for Pythagoras, that was a problem because he believed that all numbers came out to be perfect. And in this case, they did not. Okay? They didn't come out to be perfect at all. They came out wrong. And the fact is, they should come out the same. And it doesn't. And so any instrument maker is, and the great instrument makers come up with very clever ways to hide their out of tunedness. But all instruments are out of tune by that much. So you have to hide this tiny, tiny, tiny amount. And if you don't, it doesn't work. Like there's certain strings and places on my instrument that sound bad. And they sound bad because that's where he hid that. So he hit it at one. I hit it right at this one place. So if ever I play that place, it sounds terrible. It sounds really, really bad. That's where he put it. So that's how it works. That's what we were doing on Thursday. I tried to shove that in too quickly, so it was hard to understand. Does anybody have any questions about this? This is called the Pythagorean comma. And then people do their doctoral dissertations on this kind of thing still to this day, figuring it out. Yes, Luis, good. So I found this. Now, to find a percent, you always divide the numerator by the denominator. So you divide the top by the bottom, and that gives you the percent. So when I did that, I got that other number. I erased it, whatever. I got the other number, and then this was the percent. Does that help? Yes, Diane, that's correct. Yes, Diane, that's correct. All right. Do we have any other questions? Are we good? Should I move on, or are we good? Someone talk to me so I know if I can move on, or you have other questions. Okay, excellent. All right, I have to teach you something else that I neglected to teach you. It's very simple. And then I'm going to do test prep. And then we're done. And I have not yet figured out how I'm going to give you the test. I'll probably just put it on Schoology or something. My bad. On Canvas. My bad. Schoology is my other job. So I'll probably put it on Canvas for you, and you can just print it and do it and send me a copy or something. I'll figure it out, and I'll let you know. All right, scales. We're going to go back to scales. Okay? And this should all be review. The major scale is based on the C scale. Okay? And on our keyboard, between C and D is a whole tone. Between D and E is a whole tone. Oops, my bad. Sorry. There we go. See if I can make this work. How about like this? Okay. Between E and F is a half tone. Okay. F to G is a whole tone, G to A is a whole tone, A to B is a whole tone, half. And it's up here. F to G is a whole because we go half and half. G to A as a half and half, A to B is a half and half, B to C is a half right there because there's no black key. All right, that's what we did, and everybody made their scales and was happy to do so. Now, we have another scale. We have a scale called the minor scale. And that's the one I didn't teach you. Okay? So this pattern, wait, let me go backwards. This pattern is 1, 1, 1 half, 1, 1, 1, 1 half. Okay? On our picture, 1, 1, 1 half. 1, 1, 1, 1 half. Okay? The minor scale has a different shape. Let me try this. Maybe I'll get, I can see better. Is that okay, or is the writing too small? Is that okay? Let me know. So now we have a minor scale. Okay? The minor scale has a different pattern. So there's the pattern for the minor scale. 1, 1 half. 1, 1, 1, 1 half, 1. Okay? So if we start here, okay, that's 1. Now here, oh, hold on. Right here, if you notice, right, I need to have a half tone. So what I do is I need to take the third note, that's the third note, and drop it down a half. And if I'm at E, a half is the one below, so that's an E flat. Good? Now, E flat to F is a whole tone, F to G is a whole tone, G to A is a whole tone, but we need to have a half tone right there. Okay, so G to A is a whole tone, we're right here. A to B needs to be a half, so we subtract a half and we're at B flat. Okay, and this would be a C minor scale. This is a C major scale. Okay, so we have two patterns. This is the major, and our other pattern is the minor. Oops, my bad. Sorry about that. Okay, so write those down. This is the major. This is the minor right here. That you'll need to know for your test. Can you see it now? Good. Rado, isn't an A flat? What do you mean? Yes, that's a flat on the B because G to A is a whole, right? And then A to B would be a whole, but we need a half, so we have to flat the B so we only have a half. Okay? Yes, we go back. Yes, we do. We go back on it. Exactly correct. Good. Do you have any questions about a minor scale? So let me play. You'll hear it. And by the way, you all know the difference absolutely. So let me get out the instrument and I'll play you a major and a minor and you'll hear it. So imagine you go to the movies, right? And you go to the movies and you go to see a romantic, one of those romantic movies. Oh, boy meets girl, and they have a great first date and they're getting along really well, and the music sounds all happy like this. And then the date ends and then the music does this. What's going to happen? We know that we're heading into the place where boy breaks up from girl or girl breaks up from boy because we have that. Here's the happy walk on the beach music. And then we know something's going wrong, right? Or in the horror movie. then we know the monster's coming because they play the minor chord. So in our music, minor chords are always sad, depressing, traumatic. Something wrong is going to happen. In the movies, it always tells you that the bad thing is coming. All right. Okay. Do we have any questions? Any questions at all right now? Because we're about to be done, actually. Any questions? I'm assuming because I don't hear that I have no questions. Okay, here's your test prep. Yep, test prep. One. No, Luis. I'll go over the homework. Yeah, let me do test prep and then we can go over the homework, okay? Problem 2 on the homework. Let me look up. Which homework was that? Homework 3? Yeah, I can go over that. But let me do test prep and then I can go over those things. Okay? All right. I'll give you a keyboard picture and 4 starting notes. You make major scales. Okay? So I want you to make major scales. So for example, okay. I will get, yeah, I know they don't. Thanks, thanks, Okuri. I know that it's just they haven't, yeah. We'll get there. I'll do the homework in a second. Okay, so for example, I might do, hold on one second, let me find a good example. Let me see. Let's say I give you an A. I'll say, make a scale on A. Oops, hold on. Let me get focused again. So, for step 1, write the letters. And then step 2, put in the tone pattern. So let's do step 1. So I put in the letters. Then our tone pattern is there's our tone pattern. Okay? Now, we get out our keyboard. Okay? And is A to B a whole tone? Yes, it is. So we don't have to do anything. Is B to C a whole tone? See, we need a whole tone there. But you notice B to C is only a half. So in order to get to a whole, we have to add a half. So a half more than C takes us to C sharp. So we add a little sharp right there to add an extra half. Now we're at C sharp. C sharp to D is a half right there. This is C sharp. 1/2 to the next note, so that's good. Okay? D to E is a whole, so we don't need to do anything. But now we're at this other place. E to F is only a half, right? And we need a whole. So therefore, a half plus a half is a whole, so we have to make it an F sharp. So we're right here at F sharp, okay? And we need a whole. 1, 2. So 1/2 plus 1/2 is a whole, that's G sharp. Good? And then G sharp back to A is a half, so that's good. So you just made a scale on A. Clear? So the steps, just to repeat, first you write the letters. Below the letters, you write the tone pattern. Okay? And then you use sharps or flats as necessary in order to make the scale. Number 2. Okay? I want you to make 4 minor scales. So the tone pattern here was 1, 1, 1, 1/2, 1, 1, 1, 1/2. The tone pattern for the minor scale is 1, 1/2, 1, 1, 1, 1/2, 1. Okay, that's the pattern for the minor scale. Good. All right. So let's do the same thing. Now let's do a, let me look it up real quick just to make sure it's one that we can do. Yeah. So example. I want you to make a D minor scale. The rules are the same that we did up here. First, we write the letters. Good. Then we put in the tone pattern. This is the tone pattern for a minor scale. My bad. Sorry about that. All right. So D to E is a whole. We don't have to do anything. E to F. Okay. E to F is a half. We don't have to do anything. F to G is a whole. We don't have to do anything. G to A is a whole. We don't have to do anything. A to B is a whole. We don't have to do anything. B to C is a half. We don't have to do anything. And C to D is a whole. So therefore, the D minor scale is as it is. I think I've made a mistake. I definitely made a mistake. Where's my mistake? Hold on a second. I got to think about something. Oh, all right. There's the minor scale. Sorry, everybody. This is the minor scale right here. Forgive me. That was a dumb mistake. So let's do it again. 1, 1/2, 1, 1, 1/2, 1, 1. There's the minor scale. So D to E is a 1. E to F is a half. F to G is a whole. G to A is a whole. Now, A to B is a whole, but it needs to be a half. So we subtract a half and we get B flat. We go backwards. B flat to C is a whole. C to D is a whole. So our scale would be and that's a D minor scale. Okay? Any questions? Problem 3. I want you to make the chords. So, a chord is the first, third, and fifth of the scale. Okay. So, for our example, you all have your notes. You can look back at the A scale that we made. I don't think I can. Yeah, good. I can fit it all. So, the first is an A. Second, third is a C sharp. And the fifth is an E. And that's an A chord. That's all you do. So the chord is the first, the third, and the fifth. The first is the first note, the A. 1, 2, 3. There's the third. 4, 5. There's the fifth. A D minor chord. Okay? We do the same thing. We start with the D. That's the first. 1, 2, 3. F. 4, 5. A. There's the D minor chord. Are we good? Does anybody have any questions? That's basically your test right there. Anybody have any questions at all? And I will definitely, Okuri, wait for a little bit so that your chats can show up. It's like we lost a couple of people. Right. Anybody have any questions? Cynthia, we good? Cynthia says we have no questions. Is everybody with me? No questions? Good, Caitlin. I'm glad. It's an easy test. I'm going to tell you there is one more question on that test, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's going to require that you remember. Yeah, well, you'll see. If you were listening the other night when I was talking, if you were listening, then you'll be able to answer the question. Go ahead, Luis. Quick question, go. Diane, I don't know when the next test is. You have to look at the pacing chart. It'll be there. Renato, just make the scales over and over again. So Renato said, I just got to go over it and over it. Excuse me. Make the scales just over and over again. And if you go online, no, you don't pick your own. I'm going to tell you which scales to make. Okay? Sorry, I breathed in wrong. So I'm going to tell you which scales to make. I'm going to give you, do this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, that'll be it. What was I answering? So Renato, if you go online, you just go online and look at musical scales, and it'll give them all to you. So then what you do is you make them yourself, you generate them, then you can double check what they have online. Okay? Good. All right. You wanted to go look at the homework. We got about 10 minutes. So, number 2 on the homework. It's actually pretty straightforward. Okay. I asked you, what is the ratio of a halftone? Just the notes is what throws you off? I don't understand that, Renato. Help me out there. I don't know what you're saying, Jordan. What is the ratio of a halftone? Okay, so on our worksheet, right, we came up with the ratios, like an octave is 2 to 1 or 1 to 2, 2 to 3, etc., right? So how do you come up with the ratio of a halftone? So it's a little tricky. Right here, right? What's the difference between F and G? Do you notice that the difference between F and G is a whole tone? Do you see that? Okay. So, like I said, what we do is that the hint that I gave you is if you add ratios, you multiply. If you subtract ratios, you divide. So you notice that we have 3.5 for the fifth and 2.5 for the fourth. If we subtract them, then we can get a 1, right? So let's do that. So we have 3 over 2 subtracted by 3 over 4. My bad, sorry. 2 over 3. So everybody remembers that what you do is you flip and multiply. So we get 8 over 9. That's the ratio of a whole tone. 2 whole tones, what would the ratio be? Well, when we add, we multiply. So the ratio right here is good. Now, what could you do with these numbers right here? Oops, hold on a second. What could you do with those numbers now to find a half? And I would suggest that you can say 2.5 minus 2, right? Because 2.5 minus 2 gives you a half, correct? So 2.5 minus 2 is 3/4 divided by, right? 3/4 is 2.5 divided by this. And that right there is the ratio of 1/2. Any questions? Who asked that? I forget. Are we good? Good. How do you want us to turn in the homework? Lord, I don't know. I've been thinking about that. If you scan it or take pictures, I'm going to get 450,000 pictures. Um, yeah, we need to submit online. Why don't you turn it in, please, on here. I have a new web. Let's turn it in here. Okay. It's the web address of this live stream, and it's this. Okay. So prof.hornesscc@gmail.com. So why don't you scan it, turn it into a PDF? I don't care. Take pictures, and then just send me an email at this address with the homework attached. Is that good, everybody? That looks it. Selena, that you got it. That's exactly right. All right. Are we good, folks? I think we're done for the night. I will, I don't know what I'll do. Thursday, I'll post the test or something. I don't know. I've got to figure that out. I'm sorry. We're figuring it out as we go. Excellent. And I will try to go in right now and change the formatting of this so that it is public. I will try, Renato. I will try. I cannot promise. The problem is that when I made the public video for my other class, I had trolls popping in and out the whole time. And so I made it to link only because I was getting weird people popping in and out. So I didn't make it public. But let me mess with it right now, okay? And I'll try to save it. If I don't, please forgive me. Don't hate me forever. All right, folks. This is awkward and weird, but I think we'll make it work. All right, you all have a good night, and stay safe, and I'll see you or talk to you in a couple of days. And by the way, keep an eye on your email, and I will contact you when I figured out how we're going to do it, okay? All right, you guys have a really good night, and I'll talk to you later. Go ahead and log out so I don't log you out.